trophy with unmatched detail and design, representing decades of a golden promise. Only the best polo teams in the world can dream of holding this timeless trophy. Since 1974, the USPA Gold Cup brings together the world's greatest polo players. They are pursuing more than a victory. This is their chance to write history. To capture this crown jewel of the winter's season means mastering one of the hardest tournaments to win in the world. Our setting, the ultimate proving ground, home of polo in the United States, the US Polo Assn Stadium Field. Which team will hoist the golden prize and claim the 52nd USPA Gold Cup? Hi and welcome to one of the biggest events in American polo, the USPA Gold Cup Championship Final. Just a beautiful day at the USPA National Polo Center. The field looks tremendous and the matchup is really tasty. I'm Chris Fowler, La Dauphine Scone and Team Pilot, two of the best in the world. And on display here, the power of youth. Of the 8 players you're going to see, 5 are under the age of 25. That's never happened before. These guys are extremely talented. They're respectful of the legends, but they know it's their time and they want to elevate this sport. And it'll come down today to some moment of magic by one of these guys or some crucial mistake. Can't wait to find out. The guys who call all the big matches in American polo, Kenny Rice and Hall of Famer Adam Snow. Man, you were talking earlier about how tasty, how compelling this matchup is, guys.
You know, Chris, it's amazing. And like you say, to have this many at this time. They're not the young and the restless, they're the young and have arrived.
It's the youngest gauntlet ever, and among them are 2 generational talents, which we'll introduce to you in a moment.
Well, these teams had to fight through the bracket. It's been a very contested tournament. Both semifinals came right down to the end. And Kenny, the 2 teams here today are undefeated.
Yeah, they've been very impressive as of late. Now for Scone, very much so as the tournament went on. Pilot started out great, winning by more than 4 goals, but they won by only 2 in the semifinal. Pilot struggled, winning in overtime to start things, but they won by 4 to get here in this championship round. And of course, they're led by one of these great young guns, Imperato Cambiaso.
That's right, and Perotto's captaining his team from the number 4 position. Timing is incredible. He's on a great group of horses, and he's quick as a cat. In front of him in the number 3 position with a Kiwi on the back of his helmet and some rugby in his game is Jesse Bray, hailing from New Zealand. He grew up in California, had a big game in the semi, scoring some important goals out of the throw-in. In front of Jesse, Rufino Merlo, 6 goals, 18 years old. He's playing in his 3rd successive gauntlet season with Perotto Cambiaso. And in the number 1 position, player-owner David Paradise, hailing from Scone, Australia. On the other side of the lineup, up front for Pilot is Curtis Pilot. And Curtis has the distinction of being the only patron to win the full gauntlet. That was in 2019. Watch him playing a little bit of deep safety here today. At number 2, hometown kid, Mackenzie Mackey Weiss. Mackey says he likes to be a sponge and learn from everyone he plays with. Had a great semifinals. Number 3, the youngest player in the gauntlet, Lorenzo Chavan. He leads his team in goals with 33. He's looking for his first gauntlet title here today. In the number 4 position, also captaining his team, 23-year-old Camilo Heta Castagnola. This guy has it all. He can shoot from 140 yards, he can run through traffic and score goals with his incredible hand-eye, and he's going for his first gauntlet title here today.
No matter the sport, there's something about the energy of a championship game. Kenny, which of these young guys can step up and seize the moment? We'll all find out together.
You know, you're right, Chris. This could be a game for the ages with all this young talent here. Beautiful day, 80 degrees, a few clouds in the skies, wind at 10 miles an hour, and a great turnout here at the National Polo Center to see this rematch between Scone and Pilot. They met in the finals of the USPA Gold Cup back in 2023, with Scone prevailing in that one. A face-off in hockey and a throw-in in polo. And here they come, and Scone has been good about getting these. That is Castagnola and Cambiaso battling for it, and Cambiaso comes away with it momentarily.
Just like that, it's the 2 first cousins battling one another. They're 2 of the best ball players in the world. Right now, it's Lorenzo Chavan on the ball.
Chavan for Pilot in the white. With him is Merlos. Merlos giving him a bump early on, circling back around and looking for some room.
Lorenzo has been playing lights out all season long. He's on a mare called Oriental United here, chestnut with the white face. He leaves it for Siobhan.
And here he comes. Moving with it rapidly to the right. Tries to cut the shot. It's on its way. It is high and is going wide. And you see a little bit of that breeze right now. We don't know what effect that will have as we go throughout this match. About 10-mile-an-hour winds, but a little bit of gust on one end.
That's right. It can move the ball a little bit, but what a beautiful neck shot by Heta Castagnola there. He shot from 60 yards out and missed by a couple feet. We have our umpires on the field today are Gaston Lucero and Hector Galindo. There's a third man in the stands to decide any disagreements on the field. This is Jesse Bray on the ball.
You saw the aggressiveness of Pilot early on. Both these teams averaging over 13 goals throughout this tournament. That's some nice scoring.
It sure is. And these are the two players that are, you know, can light it up on the scoreboard, the two cousins. Here's Mackie Weiss getting on the ball for the first time. Nice play by Weiss on the near side.
Weiss takes it away and now loses it back, and here comes Scone once again. Looking over his shoulder is Cambiaso. Tries to get it in the middle. It's turned back around by Pilot. You see this big field right there in the middle. That's 150 yards to the next goal on a 300-yard field that they play on here. They battle for it along the boards there, and that's Jesse Bray in the red. Had it and lost it.
Heta passes up to Lorenzo Siobhan on United.
Siobhan is open. Siobhan is moving, and the man who leads the team in scoring puts this one through. Lorenzo Siobhan with his 35th goal of the tournament, and Pilot takes the 1-0 lead.
And what a way to start it for Pilot. And there's the combination that's been working so well this season. Heta Castagnola working with his 18-year-old teammate Lorenzo Siobhan. Here's this mare United, head down. He's not going to miss that ball. 1-0 for Pilot.
Siobhan, his third year in this tournament for the 18-year-old. He was runner-up twice last year.
He wants to get the W here today, and he's been playing terrific.
They switch sides after every goal. It can get confusing, but now moving from left to right is Pilot just after their goal. There's a shot on from about 100 yards out. It'll go to the middle and continue to roll on. Let's see who can get to it first and try to turn it away, and they do. That is Jesse Bray in the red. He leaves it back there for Peroto Cambiaso, who lifts it high to midfield.
Beautiful drop pass there from Jesse Bray back to his teammate Peroto Cambiaso, and here's Jesse on Peroto's pass.
Bray on the run. He has two defenders with him. Coming up charging hard is Weiss, and Weiss was right there to knock it away. Now Siobhan comes in to scoop it up. Peroto knocks it away from him. Peroto has it rolling, and going through.
What a goal by Peroto Cambiaso. It looked like Lorenzo Siobhan had control of the ball. He touched it one time too many, and Peroto said, here you go, I'm going to take that right away from you. His first touch through the goalpost.
Cambiaso coming through for Scone.
And it was that one miss hit by Lorenzo that gave Peroto the opportunity to pounce.
It would be the steal in the basket.
And what we're
in the
seeing
game called
here
hoops
already is this decision of whether to pass the ball or retain it. And you have two of the best ball control people in the world in Cambiaso and Castagnola.
Both are 10-goal players. We talked that's the highest you can get.
Here's the 18-year-old, Lorenzo Siobhan.
Siobhan with the goal already. We talked about how well he has played, and he's always a scoring threat. It's turned around now by Cambiaso. Cambiaso will circle and look. The 20-year-old who was a 10-goal player at the age of 17. It never happened before. Now coming in is Weiss.
Ever.
Weiss comes in. We have a stoppage for the first time.
See what the umpires called on that play.
Meanwhile, we talked about the gauntlet. It started with the C.V. Whitney. This is the middle jewel of the gauntlet. And the Duda Corporation became the winners of the C.V. Whitney. And they were led, we talked about these young stars, by 24-year-old Timmy Duda in his first gauntlet competition. Add another name of youngsters in this tournament.
Duda's having a great season. They're a contender in the Open as well. This is a 30-yard penalty shot for La Delfina Scone. Peroto's teed the ball up, takes a gentle circle on the right lead, undefended.
Cambiaso with one score today. Nice and easy and through, and Scone takes the lead. And who did Duda defeat to win the CV Whitney.
Duda knocked off in the semifinals Pilot and in the final Scone. So they went through both of these teams in the CV Whitney.
So Scone still smarting a bit from that.
Yeah, they're in their second finals of the season. And they're starting strong with those 2 goals by 20-year-old Poroto Cambiasso. You see him with the light blue helmet, Argentine flag on the front like his dad.
They switch goals, so now they're moving to the left side of your screen. There he is running, trying to get some room. He will not get it this time. Good defense by Weiss, who's there. Poroto will come back over. Now Cambiasso looks for some room, tries to lift it to the middle of the field, and going over, and still rolling. Can he get to it in time to cut it? Shot is on its way. No.
Just wide there.
Had the angle. It was a tough angle, but
Very
he couldn't
tough
get it
angle.
through.
Beautiful near side back shot by Rufino Merlos there, but now it's Heta Castagnola on the ball.
Merlot's certainly another of those guys that can score on each side of the ball. Castagnola, there he is. He's sort of the old man of the group at 23 years old and already a 10-goal player himself. He was a 10-goaler at the age of 18. Watch the stick handling there. Comes down with it. Oh, turned around.
Umpires let that go. Rufino, they decided, had enough space to get in front there and turn that ball around. Now he leaves it for Poroto on Aeronautica.
Here comes Cambiasso. They will change horses throughout every chukker, and it's incredibly quick how they do it. It's like a line change in hockey. Now you see it, now they don't see it, now they're back out there.
They've got a spare horse on either end of the field, and they're looking for that moment to jump on a fresh one.
And Poroto right now is just looking for a little bit of room as he squeezes between, and Poroto puts the shot on its way, and it's no good. And here we talked about how big this place is when you're out there.
9 football fields in size. We got 6 chukkers, or 7.5 minutes each. And after each goal scored, the team switched directions.
It's like our friend Chris Fowler calling the entire college football playoffs at once. Just put them all out there and go. And here they come back around now in the whitest Pilot. They're moving from left to right, crossing midfield about 120 yards away from the goal. Lift it up in the air.
He didn't get a hold of that. He found some space and looked to pass it up to Mackie Weiss. Now it's Scone on the ball.
Right back the other way. Giving chase. Can he get there in time? Bray leaves it back, and it's stolen away by Castagnola. Castagnola will turn right back around. Cambiasso is there waiting on his cousin and shooting it right past him, letting it fly from 100 yards out, and it's on its way, and just to the right. You know, one of the things about these young players is they will take those kinds of shots. They're like Steph Curry when he shoots from the logo. That's the way these young guys do it. Here in the USPA Gold Cup Championship, it's Scone 2-1 over Pilot.
The USPA Gold Cup Championship is brought to you by the United States Polo Association, founded in 1890, and by US Polo Assn, the official sports brand of the USPA. After the first chukker here at the US Polo Center, Undefeated Scone a 2-1 lead over Team Pilot. We've talked about the youth movement of both these teams and the young guys that made an impact in the first chukker. Poroto Cambiasso, age 20, with 2 goals after the 18-year-old Lorenzo Chavan had got Team Pilot on the scoreboard first, as Undefeated seeks their first title of the season. Kenny, chukker number 2.
All right, Chris, what a great start it is here, 2-1, and it's a knock-in to start this second chukker.
That's right, and these knock-in plays are big because it's where Poroto and Heta are finding their running back. In this case, it's Jesse Bray getting on the pass from Poroto. He cuts it back in field. And it's really for these two players about getting their whole team involved. We know how spectacular they are with the ball, but I feel like the one that involves their team the most is going to be the most effective today.
Cambiasso and Bray have been so good throughout this tournament, like right there, a little give and go to set each other up.
And let's remember, this is the second full year with Jesse Bray, Perotto Cambiaso, and Rufino Merlos playing together. So they have that understanding.
And here comes Pilot away with it now. Now Pilot has their chance to go on the offense, but they're going to have to wait a minute as Castagnolo was stopped momentarily. They circle back around.
Look at these horses. One moment Heta was on a run. The next moment he's following his teammates. He's back on the ball on Delfina Garland.
Castagnola in traffic, cutting through it. Castagnola still on the move and still on the move. He's taking it all the way in.
Unlucky with that last tap.
And that was it. It was just one tap short for Camilo Castagnola. You look at the 23-year-old playing in his first gauntlet final. Leads his team in goals and assists coming into this.
And last year was Heta's first gauntlet, so he brought fresh horses up, and he still ended up being the leading scorer of the 2025 gauntlet. Here's Jesse Bray. He knows he's got Perotto behind him.
Wherever you see Bray, take a closer look, and Perotto won't be too far away, and there he is now. Perotto lifts it, moves into the offensive end.
Looks like they might have caught him on that play because Heta jumped off of Jesse Bray's pass. I think he had the line. Perotto, they might have called him for a crossing foul there.
All polo players play right-handed. Even if they're left-handers, they have to play right-handed for right-of-way purposes like you just saw.
Exactly. It's like driving in England, and you have the right-of-way on your right hand, and you can meet a car if you're perfectly meeting 1v1. This will be a hit from the spot for Pilot. Castagnola on the ball.
Castagnola will move with it and go past Bray.
There's his partner. There's Lorenzo Chavan, first one around.
Chavan averaging just over 6 goals a game. He already has one here today. Mackenzie Weiss now will get his shot with it. Oh, it's up, it's high, it's deep, and it's wide.
Beautiful lofted drive by Mackenzie Weiss from 130 yards out and didn't miss by much. I like that they're including everybody. Mackenzie came around behind, took his crack at it.
Here's Weiss again, the 6th-year pro.
Beautiful long ball.
Now, it's not unprecedented to see these shots. We just see more of them with these young guys, it seems.
That's right. Bray's in some space. Let's see if Chavan can catch him.
And moving on with it, and still moving on. The shot is on goal. It's rolling, and it is just to the right by that much.
Good decision by Lorenzo not to try to back that ball. He realized it was wide by a few inches.
And
Oh, that was close. He had a good eye to let that one roll out.
Caught in no man's land there. Now here comes Pilot in the white, circling around. Camilo Castagnola, captain of this team.
They have all the options. He started right, spun back around, and they're giving them the ball easy. You know, he can hit that ball on that horse. It's smooth.
He'll nicely leave it for his teammate and now smoothly move it upfield. Good teamwork here by Pilot. Circling around is Weiss. Chavan moves in. Chavan with the only goal for Pilot. And Chavan will send it flying from 95 yards out. It is rolling, it hits the post and goes out.
If that had hit the post and stayed in, I think Mackey could have put it away on the offside.
23 feet wide, the goal, and that was, what, about 22-10, 22-11?
Yep, 2 more inches.
Oh.
What a view.
There it is. It turned.
Yes, it did. I think he might have caught a bad bounce there.
He did. It hit a divot, or the wind really gusted all of a sudden, and we didn't see it. But anyway, it's still 2-1 in favor of Scone. And Scone in the red and with the ball, and that's Rufino Merlos. Merlos, who has 20 goals in this tournament, yet to score here today. Merlos moving with it. He's certainly capable of getting a hot hand at any time, and he takes it and takes it and takes it and puts it through.
And that was Rufino Merlos, who I think put that one through. I don't think anybody touched it behind him. He worked hard for that goal because there was one moment it looked like he'd been pushed over the top of the ball, but he got it through. Here's a good look at him. He's just a little scoop shot, taking it early. That avoids the hook. And that's where the horse came over the ball, but it had enough momentum to get through over the line.
Well, like we talked about earlier today before he came in to start doing this, is Merlos is the guy that can get a hot hand and score 2 or 3 goals really in rapid fashion.
Absolutely.
That's his first of the day, his 21st in this tournament, and it's 3-1 now. Scone opening up the lead.
Looks like somebody may have said something there because it's going to be a center. No, what they did, they called a penalty 1, which they gave them the goal. Then they get a free hit from center field. Cambiaso.
So it gets even better for Scone. Here they have the ball, moving left to right. With it, Perotto Cambiaso, perhaps the best player in the world. His dad's held that title for 2 decades. And still moving with it, Cambiaso. Sets up over on the right side, draws the double team. Looking for somewhere to go. Castagnola, look at him.
He's hunting his cousin from the backside.
Right with him.
And he won the ball back.
Castagnola takes it away from him. Wonder if they had any backyard games as kids. Fires it up to the middle of the field.
They did. Both on e-wheels, little motorcycles, and horses. And it was interesting on that hit from the center that it was Camilo Castagnola going to his cousin. So he doesn't want to let teammates go. He wants to be there close to Perotto to try to put pressure on him.
Here comes Chauvin, 60 away.
Ball's on a nice tee. He's trying to get this up and over the defending red team.
It is contested. Shot is up, and it comes right at us.
It almost hit that camera wide left. Didn't miss it by much, but it got a little curve on it and it hooked out.
Take another look, and you see the flag blowing.
Ooh, it started in.
And it hooks.
And it hooked just over the flag out. Needs to be inside that flag.
Compliments to the cameraman who did not flinch. Here we go now, Scone moving with it, left to right. Scone with the lead and the ball. Bray on the attack. Bray still moving with it. Bray cuts it, trying to get it in. Bray once again trying to backhand. No, it goes out.
Good work there by Jesse Bray. And you saw Rufino Merlos at the start of that play was working for Jesse to give him space and time. Nice run, just wide right.
Another look at Jesse Bray. A lot of work here and almost.
He caught one bad bounce. Oh no, deflected off Lorenzo's horse, out for a knock-in.
Chauvin was right there with him. Bray, born in New Zealand, grew up in California, second-generation polo player. His dad, Graham, a solid player, was playing professionally in New Zealand. Have a lot of second and third-generation tie-ins throughout this game.
We sure do. Lorenzo's dad was a 9-goal player, won the U.S. Open. Heta's dad was a 10-goal player, won U.S. Opens, Argentine Opens. Look at Heta on the ball.
Castagnola has some room. He'll leave it for Chauvin. Chauvin winds up, firing. It's going, and just outside.
They're missing by inches. They're peppering the goal. They're not going in, but they're playing well, Pilot.
As chukker number 2 draws to an end. Scone with a 3-1 lead. Now you see Jesse Bray. Made it to the finals last year of the U.S. Open. What will happen this time? Right now, his team needs to get a little momentum going their way. Lots of near misses for Pilot. Scone in front, 3-1.
USPA Gold Cup Championship Final. 2 chukkers in the book, 1 more before halftime. La Dauphina Scone with a 3-1 lead, 2 goals for Perotto Cambiaso, and lots of close calls from Team Pilot. Narrow misses, and they are down by 2 as we begin the third chukker. Kenny?
All right, thanks, Chris. And we start with the knock-in here for Scone.
A lot of good passing between Cambiasso and Bray. This is Bray on the ball.
Bray and Cambiasso throughout and getting very comfortable with each other. And we talk about the teamwork of horse and rider as well. And there's something about playing here on the US Polo Assn field, National Polo Center, in one of the major tournaments. And you wonder about Pilot right now coming so close. Wonder what's in their mind. I mean, they could easily be up.
I mean, it's a really special day for all of these players. I think it's particularly special for Heta Castagnola and Lorenzo Chavan. Neither of them have won a gauntlet, even though it's only their second year here competing.
Cambiasso lifts it ahead to Bray. And Bray will push it over to the side, and it's going to go out. We talk about teamwork. Merlos, who has a goal, he and Cambiasso getting very used to playing together now. This is four major tournaments in a row they played in.
3 major gauntlets, and they played England last summer together. So they really, obviously, Perotto likes playing with Rufino and vice versa. And you can see it in their teamwork out there. Let's see whose mallet this went off last. If it goes off the defending team's mallet, it's a safety. Looks like they're calling a penalty for Scone. Be a right-of-way violation. See Cambiasso tee it up for his young teammate Rufino Merlos, 18 years old, from 30 yards out.
Nice and easy swing.
Makes no mistake. And he's a lot like his dad. He is a goal scorer. His dad still holds the record for the most goals in a single game in Palermo. I think he scored 16. And Rufino seems to be following in his dad's footsteps.
Tincho Merlos.
Tincho Merlos, that's
another
right.
10-goal player. We start talking about all the 10-goal players, the generations of them. And it's now 4-1 Scone. And what's Pilot got to do here? They don't want to get too far behind in this one already. Here in the third chukker.
Well, they're playing well. They need to keep their heads down and get some of those between the posts. They've had plenty of near misses. Heta's found some space.
What's a good polo pony? You've ridden a bunch of them.
Well, my favorites are the ones you think it and you're doing it. You want them to stop, run, turn. Mackie Weiss, get him on that ball.
Defense.
And Perotto Cambiasso just too quick for Mackie to get that foul. He's out in space.
That's what we talked about a polo pony. You see how he adjusts right there with Cambiasso aboard, and Cambiasso playing both ends of the field now. Great defense that time.
Perfect example, and what a stop there by Heta Castagnola. Turned the ball around.
Castagnola turns Merlos around. Castagnola moving over to the right side. Wanted to wind up about 70 yards out. Did not. Now circles back around. And right there with him is Cambiasso, now moving over. Castagnola to the middle of the field, going for the backhand, going for the next shot, and it's rolling and it goes out. Okay, not as close that time, but still aggressive play by Castagnola. Well, you talked about a good polo pony, what they have to do.
We got a great example of what good polo ponies can do. And it's run, stop, and turn. It's the same things we see them doing out in their pasture. Look at this. He stops the ball, swivels 90 degrees, and bursts out of there. And that's how he created so much space on that play.
And here he comes again. Cousin on cousin. He'll leave it back for Jesse Bray. And Bray, of course, will put it ahead, trying to get it up there, but it's not going to make it far enough. And Castagnola turn it back around. And here comes Pilot moving to the right side of your screen. Pilot still on the move. Next shot by Castagnola trying to set something up, and it's rolling. And guess what?
Over the back line one more time.
Over the back line one more time, yep.
Good defense there by Rufino Merlos. He didn't rush in, he didn't foul, he just watched that ball over the back line.
Now here's how quickly they change horses.
That's right, they ride up parallel to their fresh horse. The groom holds both horses for a moment and they jump over onto the fresh horse's saddle.
And they'll come in a dozen maybe or more.
Yeah, they'll start on maybe their favorite 4 or 5 horses, and then they'll have 2 spares on the sidelines. So they'll try to be on a fresh horse every 3 minutes, getting on a fresh horse. It was Perotto Cambiasso's father who sort of changed the game in that way, and people realized that we were getting blown away because he was on a fresh horse and we're still on our tired one. Now everybody's doing it.
And La Dauphina Scone, La Dauphina what an influence they have in the breeding industry now.
They sure do, and that's
Adolfo Cambiaso.
some of the depth of the horses that you see behind the Scone team.
Here's Merlos moving with it. Castagnola coming in on him, but now coming in to scoop it up is Cambiaso. Look at the nice stick handling there by Cambiaso, makes it look so easy. Turns around, double team, there's a whistle.
I think they might have caught Polo Cambiaso on that play.
Pick your poison there. Was it Weiser, Castagnola? Both of them had sandwiched him.
I think they both had more line than Heta did. Than Cambiaso did. I think there was a moment he overrode the ball, tried to get back, and that's when he got crosswise to the line.
Cambiaso, a three-time winner of this event, of the USPA Gold Cup already at the age of 20. Been playing in gauntlet tournaments since he was 15.
Amazingly, mature for his 20 years.
And Castagnola certainly making his impact throughout this tournament. This is his first gauntlet final.
And these two cousins played together in Argentina for the first time this season, and they won all 3 titles in the Triple Crown.
And now back with it, Scone.
There's Curtis Pilot, zone back.
Pilot.
Beautiful tail shot by Curtis Pilot.
Nice by Pilot, who has won this twice in 2019 and 2022.
And he has his own personal coach in the tent, Julio Arellano, and Julio's really worked with him about being a zone back that can slow down good players, and in that case, he turned the ball from defense to offense.
Merlos turned around momentarily there on the board, and coming out with is Polo Cambiaso. Cambiaso out in the middle of the field, looking for his teammate, and now he'll push it along. Cambiaso going with it. Castagnola right there with him.
You saw Jesse scoop it under the neck to get a better angle at the goal.
Bray looking, has it knocked away from him. Pilot needs to play some good defense here with just over a minute and a half to go until we reach halftime.
Both players are asking for a foul there, Chauvin and Bray. The question is going to be, did Lorenzo Chauvin cross in front of Jesse Bray to protect his player, or did Jesse run into him? The umpires are consulting. Let's see what they call. It's another good look at that flying change. There's 4 reins. The top reins are draw reins. The bottom reins are the gag reins on a bridle like this. And young Mackie Weiss has a broken thumb, so he's holding all those reins with a thumb that I don't know if he still has his cast on, but for most of these games in the Gold Cup, he was playing with a cast on his left hand. Looks like they called this against Lorenzo, and that's what Jesse was saying, that he got over in front of him. And this is Cambiaso from 30 yards out. I'm sorry, it's Rufino Merlos from 30 yards out. Rufino hits the open goals for his team.
Merlos open through. Rufino Merlos coming up big here as this game progresses. And now Scone is up 5-1 over Pilot. Is it time to panic?
They don't want to get any further behind. And Heta and his team would like to get a goal back before halftime. They have 1 minute and 10 to do it.
There you see Merlos. He won this in 2024 at the ripe old age of 16. Trying for his second one now here today. And coming with it, moving to the left side of your screen, is Pilot in the white. Up ahead, Chauvin. Chauvin scored, it seemed like a couple of 3 days ago. He scored this first goal of this game.
What a play he just made there. I don't know, he did a little show and go, and it wasn't any player that went by him. It was Polo Cambiaso. He got to go by him.
Oh,
ooh,
nice move by Castagnola. Castagnola still on the move. Castagnola puts it.
There was a whistle on that play. He was 10 yards out. Looked like he was going to score anyway.
Yeah,
exactly.
Foul before it went through.
And they may call a penalty 1, although he was a little far out to be sure that it was going to go through.
Had he been a little closer, it would have been like basketball. It'd be and 1. You get the goal and 1.
Well, it would have been goal and a center hit for
Yes.
the Pilot team. Let's see if it was close enough that they can call a 1 on that play. I don't think so. They're teeing it up at the 30-yard line.
Yeah, Pilot's still looking, and that score isn't changing. It's Scone still 5-1. But Castagnola there, you see why he's a 10-goal player, weaving his way through.
And it's a 3-goal game.
Nice little easy shot for Lorenzo Chavan, and the 18-year-old responds. His second goal, first in a long time. He scored the first goal of this match. It's now 5-2. Ladolfino Scone in the lead.
It's a 3-goal difference, but if anybody can turn it around in the second half, it's Heta Castagnola and Lorenzo Chavan.
And you figure with all the near misses, anything is good at this stage.
Absolutely.
Kind of get the
they were
momentum
shooting
back.
on that goal. If half of those balls rolled through the post, we've got a tie ball game.
And we move to halftime. Both these teams coming in undefeated. Perotto Cambiaso leading his team, and Scone is up 5-2 over Pilot.
Polo is played across the United States at more than 220 clubs, welcoming players of all ages and experience levels. Whether you are trying something new, discovering a lifelong sport, or looking for a community built around shared passion, Polo has a place for you. Learn how to play, find a club near you, and watch live on the USPA Polo Network.
Halftime of the USPA Gold Cup Championship Final. Ladolfino Scone had a 5-goal run in the first half. Late goal by Team Pilot, and 5-2 after the third chukker as the party breaks out in the field. The lovely tradition of polo that David Salmon, canines getting involved too. Just a beautiful festive scene here. Player profile, we feel one of the guys who's a young star in this competition. He's back in his home state. Mackenzie Weiss trying to overcome an injury to his left hand, which is a tough injury in this sport.
I had a fall in the practice, and a couple days after my fall, I had surgery. I just kind of tried to take it with ease, and everything happens for a reason. Luckily, we have an amazing team. I have great teammates and a big team behind as well, behind the scenes that we don't normally see. Winning is of course amazing, but I just try to enjoy as much as I can and wherever I am, and just really day by day, just taking it all in.
And welcome back, Chris Fowler, along with Kenny Rice and Adam Snow. 5-2 is the score at halftime. Perotto Cambiaso and Ladolfino Scone controlling the play, and Jesse Rufino Merlos doing his thing from the penalty spot.
And that's been it. That sums it up. And Pilot has missed so many shots by that much. You think if they could have just gotten a couple of them in, how things would have changed. If they'd gotten them all in, they would be in the lead.
That's right, and it's Lorenzo Chavan with their 2 goals in the first half. I think when we see Heta Castagnola getting involved on the scoreboard, that's when we're going to see Pilot getting back in this game.
Look, it is a pressure moment. It's a big final. How do you shake off the close misses and tell each other, hey, we're down 3, but we came back in the semifinal with a strong surge at the end?
I think a player like Chavan and Castagnola have so much confidence that they don't care about the misses. They go in, say, we're going to keep shooting, and they're going to go in, and let's not worry about our 3-goal deficit. We can make this up in 3 minutes.
Meanwhile, you have Cambiaso, who is running things smoothly with Bray. They played that 1-2 combination. Merlos gets involved in that second and third chukker, as we've seen him do before. And when he scores, he can score in bunches.
Well, that's the challenge, because Scone is so well mounted. They say play so well together, and they're putting Pilot under pressure. And I think that's why we're seeing some fouls on that side.
Yeah, that's critical right in the second half. They've got to avoid the penalties, but as you brought out, it's not mental mistakes as much as it is the pressure that Scone is applying. No pressure in her world, just a festive day, and the decisive final 3 chukkers of the USPA Gold Cup Championship Final coming up soon. Carl Ude Martinez, our reporter, on the importance of horsepower in these big gauntlet matches.
Horsepower is regarded as 70 to 80% of the game, and just like motorsports, if you haven't got a top engine where speed and agility are paramount, you can't compete at the highest level. Rufino Merlos knows so much about horsepower and the importance of trust when competing at this level.
I think it was the pony comparsa from my father's breed. She got a best playing pony on the first game of the Gold Cup against Tamera as well. She has a lot of heart, I think, a lot of strength in the place. She never loses a play and runs the whole chukker. I never lose confidence in her, so I trust her.
It's halftime at the USPA Gold Cup Championship Final, which means it's time for the divot stomp. It's a one-of-a-kind halftime tradition you just don't find anywhere else in sports. This is the moment where fans can get really involved in the game as they head out onto the field to help replace the divots and take part in one of Polo's most iconic traditions. And this year, the celebration is extra special. US Polo Assn is honoring 250 years of American spirit, handing out red, white and blue hats to commemorate this milestone. And it's a chance to celebrate this great tradition and even get your official merchandise at the USPA shop. There's wine tastings and an official Argentina asado. Back to you, Chris.
250 years of American spirit, a nation built on dreams and determination, and throughout our history, a nation inspired by sport. On America's birthday, we honor our nation's independence and celebrate the victories that have shaped our country since 1776. A century after America's independence, one of the oldest team sports in the world, polo, arrived in the United States. And by 1890, the United States Polo Association was formed. The official brand of the sport, US Polo Assn, draws on more than 100 years of polo tradition and heritage. The sport of polo and the timeless polo shirt, an icon born from the game, have energized historic polo fields across the United States of America for more than a century. Honoring the past while embracing the future, as America has for 250 years.
We have the throw in to start the second half. This is the fourth chukker, and coming out with it is Pilot, very aggressive early on. Gets a shot up ahead to Weiss. Going in.
And that's the way they wanted to start it, Kenny, right out of that first throw in. Mackenzie Weiss is smiling. He got a little bit of a lucky bounce there.
And don't they need one after all we've seen?
They do need one, and they deserve one with all their near misses. You see the horse just touch the ball over to the right and put it through the post.
Merlos was right there with him. Beautiful next shot by Weiss. He gets his first goal, the 23-year-old. He grew up right here.
Right here in Wellington.
This area, Wellington, and now he makes home most of the time in Argentina. And here again with it is Pilot. They change after every goal. They switch sides. So now Pilot is moving with it from right to left. There'll be quizzes throughout so you can keep up.
Good job. And it's Poroto Cambiaso back on the ball.
Cambiaso for Scone. Has it, loses it. Castagnola, his cousin. There's a couple of 10-goal players going at it here. 10-goal, the very best.
Oh, look at that horse shut down the brakes. You want them to run, but you also want them to stop, and he created space with that quick stop. Little zig and zag.
Look at that little stutter step there, and Castagnola finds some room, and now he's moving on. Castagnola about 80 yards out, trying to get closer. Goes by Cambiaso. Castagnola now has it turned away by Poroto Cambiaso.
What great defense by Cambiaso there.
We talked about those 10-goal players. Adam Snow, also a 10-goal player. What makes a 10-goal player? What does it mean?
Well, these players are handicapped twice a year. It's a system from -1 to 10. And there's only 6 10-goal players in the world.
There's a shot on its way. No.
Here's a great look at a hook from Mackenzie Weiss. You see him reaching up by his horse's ears. He looks like an Indian reaching forward, his feet back by the withers, back by the hip. And that sometimes you feel like you're hanging on by a toe when you're reaching for one of those long hooks.
There you see Weiss, we talked about it. He's playing, has 2 pins in his broken left thumb. could make steering difficult, but so far it hasn't for him. And we go back to those 10-goal players, you're at the very best and you're rated throughout the season, throughout the tournaments.
Right, and it's not how many goals you score, it's what you're worth to your team. So we've got 6 in the world, 2 of them they're watching today, and here's one of them, Poroto Cambiaso.
Cambiaso with room. Cambiaso on the move. Cambiaso is hooked at the last moment.
David Paradise leaves the ball for Bray.
How about that? David Paradise, the player owner of this team. Bray out in front, trying to get another shot in there.
Good
and can't
defense.
do it. And Pilot, look at Pilot on defense right now. Some urgency already. They came out strong getting that throw in and scoring, and now here they are getting the ball
good work
again.
by Weiss.
Yeah.
Picked up by Castagnola, back to Weiss.
Weiss is on a roll right now.
And look at Siobhan down the middle of the field.
Racing, Lorenzo Siobhan on a breakaway. Can anyone catch him? They're trying to. Siobhan, take it all the way in. Can't catch up with him this time. 3rd goal of the game.
What an incredible goal by Team Pilot. And you saw all of the players get involved in this goal. And it was Lorenzo Siobhan on V8 V8 Tyson flying down the middle of the field. Look at this mare with her ears pinned back, and he's not going to miss here. All of a sudden, we have a 1-goal ball game.
It seems not that long ago, Pilot looked like might be out of it. And look how they've come out to start this
Just
second
like
half.
that. Just like that.
Very aggressive, and here on the throw-in, they get it. Weiss with it.
A late call. You heard the Larga. Heta Castagnola on the ball, 90 yards.
Here comes Castagnola. Castagnola looking. Castagnola looking again, trying to get to the middle. Wants some room, now lifts it up. It is sailing and sailing out wide.
Unfortunate, but they're shooting at goal. There was some good work there done by Mackie Weiss to clear out Poroto Cambiaso. That's what allowed Castagnola to get in that space.
Now you see a packed grandstand here at the National Polo Center. This, the second of the gauntlet, started with the C.V. Whitney, won by Duda, and here's Scone and Pilot playing to see who is going to win the USPA Gold Cup. And this, the 52nd edition, and of course it'll be capped off in just a few weeks with the US Open also here on ESPN. Out there in the middle of the field moving. Look at the nice stick handling there. They just know, don't they?
They know who's behind them. It's like some of them have eyes in the back of their head.
Now, if this were a basketball game, they would talk about ball screens, about how one guy sets up the other coming around.
And they do some screening.
And they do it, and here's one of them right now. Poroto unloading, firing it.
Mackie with the back shot,
Knocked
but
away.
It's Castagnola.
Knocked away.
Boom, and there's an example of the distance he can hit the ball. Back to Lorenzo Siobhan.
Siobhan's open again. Siobhan on another breakaway, getting the assist on that beautiful pass. Siobhan, can they catch up with him? Siobhan all the way and in. Cambiaso charging but couldn't catch up, and Siobhan 2 goals in this, Chukker. And look at this, it's 5-5.
We're all tied up, and that's the youngest player in the whole gauntlet that just scored those 2 goals. On both plays, he's going for his teammate Castagnola's long passes. He trusts those long passes are coming, and look at his hand-eye to dribble this ball through the goal.
The 7-goal player, Lorenzo Siobhan. 3rd in this tournament in scoring, leading his team, and he is coming on strong right now.
And we were talking about handicap. Somebody playing like that is easily going to go to 8 goals next year after the handicap review at the end of the season.
On the throw-in. Going for it is Cambiaso in the red. Now he has it knocked away from him by Siobhan. Siobhan with the steal. Siobhan puts the shot towards the goal. It's going to roll wide, giving chase, and he can't get to it. Castagnola trying, but he was about 2 strides short of coming up and having, with any effort, he could get a cut in.
Lorenzo's mad at himself.
Yeah.
He just had to take a little bit off that pass, but what a move this mare made.
It's
on
like
the boards.
overthrowing the receiver.
Yeah, that's right.
If he just lifted it up just a little more, yeah.
Had him open, but it's a tie game. Cambiaso with the knock-in.
Here comes Scone, moving left to right there in the red.
I think this is Jesse's homebred horse, Sweet Pea. Leaves it to Rufino Merlos in the 3 position.
Merlos will move it to midfield. It's 150 yards to the goal at this point on this gigantic field. Moving along now with it, Poroto Cambiaso. Cambiaso will play it along the boards, and guess who's right with him? His cousin.
That's 20 goals battling.
Castagnola right there. Castagnola with him, and Weiss comes over to help out on the double team, but he still shuffles it along. Bray trying to get to it now, but Pilot's going to turn it around. Coming on strong here is Pilot to tie things up. 3 goals in the chukker. It's now Pilot 5 and Scone 5 at the end of 4.
Big surge by Team Pilot in the 4th chukker. Early goal by Mackie Weiss, a Florida-born star, and then a pair of breakaways by Lorenzo Chavan, the teenager, off long feeds from Heta Castagnola, and suddenly from 5-2 down at halftime, it is all tied up at 5 with 2 chukkers remaining. Kenny, Adam?
All right, thank you, Chris. Poroto Cambiaso right there, the 20-year-old 10-goal player, leads Scone in scoring and assists, trying for his 4th win in the USPA Gold Cup at the age of 20. And here we start this 5th chukker. And in the red is Scone, and Scone has it right there and moving right with him and knocking it out. And there's the aggressive play once again of Lorenzo Chavan, who scored, and now we see him on the defensive end. It is the US Open Women's Polo Championship, the top echelon of that sport, and Victory Eastern Hay was the winner of that.
Scone dodged a bullet there because Heta Castagnola was on a breakaway, got a big bounce, overrode the ball, and Scone's back on it. Moving from left to right.
Here comes Scone in the red. Remember, Pilot was down by 3 goals in the semifinals. They popped back and won that, obviously, to get here. Both these teams 5-0. They've been perfect so far throughout the tournament, and this is the kind of game we had expected. You think about all those near misses for Pilot. It didn't take anything out of them as they started this second half. Moving ahead there is Cambiaso, and Cambiaso has it stolen away by Castagnola. How about that? The cousins going at it.
Look at this.
Castagnola moving again. Castagnola, look at the stick handling. Just juggling the ball right there. 2 men on him, and he leaves it in the back. Beautiful handling by Castagnola. Shot is rolling is 20 yards away, and now it is turned back by Merlos.
Beautiful back shot by Rufino Merlos there. Big bump by Lorenzo Chavan, and Castagnola's back on the ball.
Castagnola has been doing some passing. He leads the team in assists. Hasn't been scoring, but he's been feeding others, doing it well.
I mean, those 2 passes in the 4th chukker were just beautiful.
Now look at this. Mastery.
It's like he's got it glued to his stick or on a string.
You know those old paddles that you had with the rubber ball that goes back and
forth? Those Polo paddles.
Yeah.
But he's also measuring the distance of the defender in front of him, and he's not hitting the ball too far so that they can reach back and get it away.
Cambiaso slices it upfield. Now he'll circle back around and get it. Castagnola is waiting for him. Maybe the 2 best players in the world right now. Adam Snow seems to think so.
I think they are.
Cambiaso shooting
on this mare.
Look at him, letting it go. 130 yards out, and it's on the roll, and it's still rolling, and it's turned back away.
Another beautiful tail shot by Curtis Pilot. Chavan on his tail shot.
Nice defense by Curtis Pilot.
Big bump there. Big bump, but a legal bump. It was shoulder to shoulder, and Chavan won position.
And there again along the boards. And again, going at it and moving it along. Nice movement on the near side. Pilot on the go. Pilot still moving with it.
Oh, he tried to leave it, and he did get it to Mackie Weiss.
There's a shot, and it's good. Wow. He ripped that from, what, 80 yards or so away?
80 yards out. Mackie Weiss, homegrown Wellington kid, fires home from 80 yards.
What a second half for the 23-year-old Mackie Weiss. Look at this shot, getting the feed from Chavan.
And this is the trust that they have in each other. He laid that bat for Mackie Weiss, and Mackie took a peek at the goal and drilled it on through. It's his second goal of the second half.
Is this the same Pilot team that played the first half?
It looks like another team.
Now the National Intercollegiate Polo Championship just completed. Their version of March Madness, USC Aiken winning the women's title.
How about Aiken? They made us proud, that team, winning the NCAA women's title.
Adam lives in Aiken, in case you didn't know. And the University of North Texas, the Mean Green, they win another national championship. There's the throw in. Scone has it. Scone in the red. Trying to unload on it is Merlos, who played well in that first chukker. Couldn't find any room there. Castagnola coming back, crossing mid-court, we'll say. 150 yards out, now continues to move along. Right there with him is Merlos. And he moves it ahead. Oh, can they do it again? Siobhan gets the feed. Siobhan's shot is off to the right.
Unlucky on that one. It was a really nice pass by
Beautiful
Castagnola.
setup. And you could see the reaction. Lorenzo knows it.
The umpires have been doing a great job today, Kenny. They're letting them play, and they're calling the dangerous stuff, but it just caught a bounce. He was taking that little half swing to finish it, and it just went off his cane wide right.
And now Cambiaso for Scone will operate. His cousin is right with him. Castagnola and Cambiaso. Boy, they look great playing in the Triple Crown in Argentina.
They sure
winning
did.
It all.
They sure did. Imagine them together on the same team. Here's Bray on the ball. He's got some power.
Jesse Bray making his move. Bray now coming across midfield. Bray still on the run with it and still moving with it. Sizing him up is Siobhan. Can Bray take it in? Siobhan says no, he cuts him off. Castagnola has it, now circles back around. Castagnola will just leave it there. Look how fast this goes. Top ball speed 100 miles an hour. Top horse speed 35 miles an hour.
That's right.
And we've seen some of these long shots, and they'll take them with ease, moving along with it, and still moving along as Pilot. And look at the stick handling and taking it in. Castagnola!
With his first goal of the afternoon, and he showed off his stick skills as he put his team up by 2.
We saw the speed of the horse, and Castagnola beautiful here.
And he gets it up in the air. He's just as happy to have the ball in the air as on the ground because he doesn't have to worry about a funny hop.
And it's now 7-5 Pilot. And we talked about Castagnola. He's played an international competition. This is his first gauntlet final. And you have to wonder, even early on, as good as he is, was he just a shade nervous? Not showing it now as Pilot gets the throw in. And Castagnola will circle around. They're moving to the left side of your screen. Castagnola fires it ahead. On the near side.
What control to move that ball on the near side. He's reaching over on the left of his horse.
Siobhan being shadowed right there by Jesse Bray. Look at Siobhan again with the neck. Leaves it for Castagnola. Castagnola moving closer. And now he'll leave it back, and now once again will Castagnola get a shot in there. There he makes his move. Castagnola draws the double team, and Castagnola shoots it through. Back-to-back goals by Camilo Castagnola. And the 23-year-old has given Pilot its biggest lead.
And that's what Heta can do in a moment, is turn a game on its end. And here you see him, he's tried this move before. He scoops it left, he goes for the near side neck shot. In the first half, these balls were going wide. In the second half, they're going between the posts.
And there is Castagnola, leads his team in assists. We've seen some of those. The #2 goal scorer for his team behind Siobhan, but he's had 2 big goals back-to-back here to open up a 3-goal lead for Pilot. Nearing the championship round here. Pilot in the lead, 8-5 over Scone. Castagnola taking charge.
We're set for the final chukker. We've seen one of the great turnarounds you'll ever see in a huge polo game. Team Pilot was down 5-1. It's a 7-goal run. They now lead by 3, entering to the final chukker. And Heta Castagnola talked about his frustrating first half. How about stepping up to the moment for this superstar? His team trying to close out a Gold Cup. Kenny, Adam?
Thanks, Chris. As you know, we see the stars rise in the moments, and we're seeing that with Castagnola here. Here's the throw-in. Scone in the red. With it is Poroto Cambiaso. He's trying to win this thing for the 4th time in his young career. They'll circle back around. And now it's Scone. You wonder, how are they feeling? Losing all the momentum in this second half.
Bray on the ball, 70 yards out.
They haven't been able to find much here. Now moving with it is Merlos. Merlos will try to find something as he works on the left side of the goal. He's about 50 yards away. Now taking over is Cambiaso. Cambiaso moving with it. Cambiaso is going to just tap it in. Poroto Cambiaso with a needed goal for Scone to start this 6th chukker and get them right back in it. This is the 52nd edition of the USPA Gold Cup Championship. 18 of these finals have been decided by 1 goal coming in here today. And now with it out front is Siobhan. Siobhan with it for Pilot. It's rolling, it's rolling. Is it going to go all the way out? No, taking it away there is Merlos. Merlos will try to move it the other way for Scone. Leaves it along the baseline. And here comes Bray. Bray trying to squeeze by Castagnola.
Umpires continue to let him play. Great play by Heta Castagnola to steal it on the near side. He's around first.
Castagnola has it. Cambiaso is right there with him. Now coming into the mix is Weiss, who's had a big second half.
Siobhan on the ball. He's on the 40.
Siobhan moving in. Siobhan looking for room.
Still
Can he get
has
it? Everybody's around him. Now somehow he gets away. Near side next shot is good. Wow, what a shot. What a play by Lorenzo Siobhan. And it's 9-6 Pilot. How'd he do that?
Huge goal by Lorenzo Siobhan. This guy's like a beanpole. He's about 6'2", weighs about 120 pounds. He took the hook, reached back, kept possession of the ball, and scooped it through with his final near side neck shot.
And now here's the throw in. And it's taken away by Cambiaso. Scone moving right to left. Back with it is Siobhan, and Siobhan will turn it away. In the middle of the field is Weiss. Weiss with a couple of goals and some great defense here in the second half particularly. Here comes Cambiaso with the steal. Cambiaso moving the other way. Nice stick handling there. Moves it along the near side. Back with it, trying to stop it, is Pilot. And it's going to roll and roll.
Missed the horse
and
there.
And he missed it.
But Merlos on that back shot.
Merlos still has it. They're keeping it on the offensive end. And now Bray reaching for it, and he has it knocked away by Siobhan.
Oh.
And Siobhan goes on the baseline and takes it away.
Oh.
Now Cambiaso trying to get it back. I got it, you take it. Cambiaso now to Jesse Bray. Bray will leave it for Cambiaso. Cambiaso with Castagnola right there with him. This is interesting. About 20 yards out. There's the shot on goal. No, wide.
Wide left, and Poroto had to shoot that ball because he tapped it 2 or 3 times. If he tapped it a couple more times, they'd call delay of game. He'd lose possession. He had a lot of horses to shoot through, just went wide left.
Here comes Pilot up with 3-goal lead with 3.5 minutes to go here for the championship of the USPA Gold Club. And they're moving and moving fast from left to right on the screen.
Oh.
And a lot of confidence. Oh.
Overridden there, but Mackie Weiss is on the ball, and he's in space.
Weiss again. This second half has been great for him. Weiss will unload from 95 yards. And it's rolling and rolling and going to stay right in front, and it's knocked away. Bray comes in to save the day.
What a steal by Lorenzo Siobhan there. He stole it on the near side.
And now Siobhan gets it right back. We've seen him score. We know he can play defense as well.
6'2", leaning forward for that.
Siobhan, again he does it. Siobhan again. Siobhan again, and that may do it. That may do it. The bean pole has climbed up and taken the beans, Jack.
Bean pole is on fire. And people were wondering about his finals performance because last year he was in 2. He didn't win either, but he is on fire today.
18-year-old Lorenzo Chavan, star of this game right now. 6 goals for him. That ties him with Scone individually and puts his pilot team up 10-6.
Incredible performance. And he and Heta combining over on the boards before Chavan had that run at goal.
2 minutes to go in this match. Miracles you would have to start thinking for Scone. Like right now with Jesse Bray. Something has to happen. Bray will leave it for Cambiaso. Can Cambiaso get it to the middle? And he does, and Cambiaso's shot is going to go out of bounds.
This will be a knock-in for Pilot. That's what they want. There's a minute 40 left. They have control of the ball.
And that's all they have to do is control the ball.
And it's Weiss to take the knock-in. His teammates were off changing horses. Next shot to Heta, stopped by Poroto Cambiaso.
Cambiaso has it. You figure he's just going to fire it, isn't he? If he can, it's knocked away from him.
I think that might be the ball game. Heta's on a breakaway.
That's it.
Followed by Chavan on Cinderella.
Castagnola pops it up in the air, has it turned back away from him by Cambiaso. And Jesse Bray will have it. A minute to go. Pilot on the verge of winning the USPA Gold Cup.
And Chavan just playing with that ball. Here he passes up to Castagnola.
Pilot last won this in 2002. It looked like they were out of it. They went on a great run to turn this whole thing around. Final seconds. This is it. Pilot getting ready to hoist that trophy. What a great turnaround.
Amazing second half for Pilot. Backed against Mackie Weiss's horse. Hits it over the back line, and that's going to do it.
Just killing time. The clock's running down, and that's it. Pilot has won the 52nd edition of the USPA Gold Cup. Coming back in amazing fashion to storm back and take this 10-6 over Scone. And there's the star, Lorenzo Chavan, the 18-year-old, and Mackie Weiss. What a great second half he had for Pilot as well.
It was like we watched 2 different halves. There's Cambiaso, had a great first half. Scone couldn't keep their mojo going in the second half, and it was young Lorenzo Chavan, Heta Castagnola, helped by Mackie Weiss and Curtis Pilot, to bring home the W. Gold Cup champions.
There's Chavan, and for Curtis Pilot, this is his 3rd.
And what a team these two are. To see these two play together, it's literally like watching 2 10-goalers.
Beautiful performance today by Chavan. Castagnola rose to the occasion, the 10-goal player as well down the stretch for Pilot. Great in this victory for Pilot in the second half.
Oh, the stadium's still buzzing. What a tremendous Gold Cup championship final. Team Pilot wins it for the 3rd time in 8 years, but does it in incredibly memorable fashion. A 7-goal run. This team was at one point down 5-1, and right after halftime, what happened? It was in the first 15 seconds, they changed the tempo, they scored, and it was an avalanche.
It was like a different team came out in the second half, Chris, and right off the bat, they smacked them in the face, and I think they stunned them. Not literally smacked them, but they smacked them pretty hard right at the start
and
here.
They got this one bounce. Look at that ball go off the hind left of Mackie's horse. That was their first goal, and then Lorenzo Chavan caught fire. He's running down the center of the field. Heta Castagnola is finding him from 130 yards back, and he knows that pass is coming. On this mare, Tyson, he scored 2 big goals, and suddenly it's a tie ball game.
And Scone just didn't know what to do, it seemed, after that. They were puzzled.
Well, and then Heta Castagnola started catching on fire, and it's like, what do you do? If you stop Lorenzo, there's Heta. You stop Heta, there's Lorenzo. Near side neck shot goal. Lorenzo again coming around out of the corner with Heta. And he knows he's got this title after that goal.
And you can see the joy there. You can see the joy, guys, because these guys, you know, Lorenzo and Heta have won massive tournaments all over the world. First time they've won a big tournament on American soil, and what a way to do it. What a combo.
It's huge for these 2 players.
And as we talked about during the second half, Chris, everybody got involved. Curtis Pilot made a couple of big defensive stops. I mean, it really was a true team effort and a totally different look for this team in the second half.
the three young guys on his team, their combined age is less than Curtis Pilot's 66 years old. A former insurance exec from Alabama who had never been on a horse until he was 50. Never on a horse. Credit to him. What a moment.
And he played a great second half, like you said, Kenny. He was back there on defense, playing zone, hit two beautiful tell shots.
He made a great choice in getting Heta on his team. Let's hear from one of the heroes of Team Pilot's championship win today.
Sí, tremendo. La verdad que nada, muy contento, no solo por mí, sino por el grupo. Es un grupo muy lindo, por la organización esta que nada, es mi primer año y me abrieron las puertas, me hicieron sentir súper cómodo desde el momento uno. Así que nada, agradecerle y dedicárselo a todos los que están atrás de esto. Son finales, yo creo que no habíamos arrancado tan mal, si querés un poco apurados, haciendo algún foul y con errores de taqueo, que es normal porque es una final importante y entras con un poquito de ganas, que eso te juega a veces un poquito en contra. Pero nada, nos sentamos acá en el halftime y dijimos que nada, confiemos en nosotros, que tengamos paciencia, que en algún momento nuestro momento en el partido iba a llegar y creo que pasó así. En el cuarto y quinto el partido se abrió para nosotros.
Just a tremendous job shaking off the frustrations of a first half and roaring back to win this title in the second half. Hetza Castañola, Lorenzo Chavan, Mackenzie Weiss, and Curtis Pilot. Congratulations. And the prizes belong to Team Pilot. 8-1 edge after a halftime. Just like the players, the horses get prizes too. And the best playing pony goes to Tyson. Team Pilot, Adam So concurring with that choice. Tremendous game for Tyson. The MVP of the game, no surprise, Lorenzo Chavan with his team leading 6 goals. The 18-year-old winning his first big championship in America. The Sportsmanship Award goes to the patron of Team Pilot, Curtis Pilot. Alabama native, Roll Tide. Equine Charity Check selected by both teams, Replay Polo, and Work to Ride. And one final salute to the youthful team, Team Pilot, champions of the 2026 USPA Gold Cup. Congratulations to the entire extended organization. The party just beginning. Hope you'll join us for the next Polo on ESPN, the #1 rated tournament in the United States, the U.S. Open Polo Championships right here in South Florida. For Kenny Rice, Adam Snow, and Carl Ude Martinez, Chris Fowler saying so long, what a great day, and congrats one more time to Team Pilot, USPA Gold Cup champions.